What's up guys, Zach here from the Chaos Galaxy, and because I've been on holiday for the past 2 weeks I haven't been able to upload a video, but you're in for a treat with this one. I've postponed part 2 of the ruling video to bring you another episode of my old TCGs. Now I know you really love these, and this one is extra special because today I will be showing you Elementals Season 3. I've already shown you Elementals Season 1, which are these things. And I made these when I was about 14, and it was the last card game I ever made without using a computer. So it's kind of the end of an era. Whoops. Also, I would have to say that this is my favourite TCG I have ever made. It's pretty much the basis of the Chaos Galaxy today. So yeah, this is all very exciting. The way you played this game was you played creatures, and in order to win, I used the point system. So, you know, in Chaos Galaxy, if you don't know the rules to that, you win by getting 20 points. And in this game, you also won by 20 points. I'll go more into the rules later, but first of all, I'll tell you about the different creatures. So, the different elements in the game, Elementals, that was the card back, by the way. There are 8 different elements. So, first element we have is water. And as you can see, this is Thousand-Eyed Fish, the first card, who's a favourite of mine in the Chaos Galaxy. Then there was the nature elements. You basically have all your basic elements, like water, nature, fire, flame pig, here we go. Enchanted Obelisk was the one from the rock element, and it has all their stats down here. So power against block, basically. One creature would attack with power against the other creature's block, and the strongest one would win. And then that player, this is where it's different to Chaos Galaxy. The point system, if my creature, so if my flame pig were to attack this Cloudybob here, let's say, the Cloudybob's block is only 600 and flame pig's power is 1400, so Cloudybob would die, and then I would get 1 point for that, which is different to the Chaos Galaxy. And then if you were to do a straight attack on your opponent's planet, like in Chaos Galaxy today, then you'd get 2 points for that, regardless of what the other card's score was. So it was a bit less accurate, but it was still good fun. So yeah. The rest of the elements are sky. We then have some of the more obscure ones. We have robot as an element, so Robo-Duck there demonstrating that. You can tell by the little symbols there. So we have some pieces of metal stuck together. If that'll focus. There we go, which symbolises robots. Got a little UFO symbolising the alien element. Some of these guys were really cool. Galagon, he was one of my favourites. We then had the last two, which are a bit controversial, but there was Guardian of the Skies, who is representing in this video the Heaven element. He has a hefty 2,900 block. And then the Hell element, which is represented by Sculpture here, and they have the little trident as their symbol. And we also have the Special element, which isn't really an element, it's just like the equivalent of magic cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or resource cards in Chaos Galaxy. And here we have Point, which should be a very familiar card to most of you. So yeah, they're the 10 different types of cards, and the reason why I made these 9 different types of elements was because I made this trading card game as a sort of Christmas present. I have 9 cousins in my family, including me. I'm the oldest of them. And we all got together at Christmas, and I thought, I'm going to make a new trading card game, and as a present to all my cousins, I'm going to give them each a deck. But then I wanted all the decks to be different, and every cousin to be like, you know, different characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! When they all have different decks and stuff. So I made a different element for each of my cousins, and I packaged them up in these little deck boxes here. Unfortunately, the only ones I still have are the Sky deck and Water deck. My cousins must have, or must have thrown away the other deck boxes. But yeah, so here's Water and Sky, and then I can't remember. I remember I used the Hell deck. I was really mean. I made the Hell deck really, really overpowered and gave it to myself, and then all the others were kind of even, and all my cousins got them. But it was kind of cool because, you know, they'd be really fair matches against each other, and then I'd have the Hell deck and be like, yeah, do any of you want to challenge me? And then what I said though was, if you beat the Hell deck, which happened only once out of about, I think I probably played about 20 games. Then I said you got to pick any one of the cards from the deck and then keep it and use it for your deck. But yeah, and then I did, if one of my cousins won a game, then they'd win some credits and stuff, and then they'd be able to buy little packs Here's some of them here. There's only 20 credits. And then I said, if you win a game, the amount of points that you won the game by, you'd get that many credits. So if you won a game 20-14, then the difference is 6, so you get 6 credits, and then put those towards buying packs. And it was really fun. You know, that was a really... I thought it was a really nice thing to do for my cousins, and they all loved it. Whenever we'd see each other, you know, just visiting each other's houses later on that year, we'd always be playing Elementals, which was really cool. And they kind of motivated me by how much they enjoyed playing my games to actually carry on making TCGs. So yeah, if it wasn't for this game, Chaos Galaxy probably wouldn't exist, and I wouldn't be making TCGs anymore. But anyway, because I made so many cards for this game, I'm not going to show you them all in this video. I think I'm going to make it a 3-part video, and I'll show you 3 of the different elements in each video. And today, because I could only salvage the boxes for water and sky, I think I'm going to show you those, and one more I'll just do rock, let's say, and then I'll show you some special cards too. Okay, so I kept all the originals of the cards to myself and then photocopied them and gave the copies to my cousins. So yeah, I was clever about it. I didn't give away the originals, so I have them here to show you today. And then I kind of did this really sort of methodically. To make every planet equal, I gave every planet 3 rare cards. I gave them an archetype each, which I'll show you in these videos today, and then I gave 1 god card to all my cousins for their respective planets. But what I did was I said you didn't get your god card straight away. You only unlocked your god card once you'd played 3 games. It didn't matter if you won or lost them. You'd only sort of be able to use your god card after that. So I think that was kind of fun. I've given some creatures abilities. Some creatures don't have abilities if the boxes are filled in blue. So for example, Cranchon here, who's a familiar face, his box is filled in blue, so he has an ability. Because Thousand Eyed Fish's box is white, he doesn't have an ability, he's just got a kind of description or flavour text. So yeah. First up, yeah, Thousand Eyed Fish, 4-star with 800 power and 1800 block. And a fish with lightning fast reflexes and eyes all over its body. It's able to dodge almost any attack, which gives it its powerful block. So there we go, that's the first one. Next up we've got Drippy, which is a drop of living water that spends most of its time rolling around in puddles to stop itself from turning into condensation. That's kind of harsh. Anyway, next up, Cranchon. I can't believe I didn't make Cranchon a shiny card. When I was looking through these, the shiny cards, well, obviously they were shiny, but I gave them a little S in the corner there. But yeah, that's probably why. To play this card, you must kill 2 water cards. I presume that was from your planet, I didn't specify it, but yeah. He's a 9-star, so he's pretty powerful, and 3,800 power and 2,800 block, so yeah, he's really good, but he takes a lot to play. Next up, we've got Amiibo Burr, which is a microscopic cell that swims around in puddles looking for mud to eat. He's only a 1-star, and he's got 800 power and 200 block. Here we go, here's a shiny, Frostboz. His eyes are kind of shiny, yeah. And he's an ice ghost with razor sharp spikes. Anything that touches it freezes on the spot. 2,300 power, that's good. But he only has 700 block, so he's not great, to be honest. I probably shouldn't have made him a shiny because he can actually be killed by Amiibo Burr. Also, yeah, you'll recognise quite a few of these from the Chaos Galaxy. Thousand Eyed Fish, Cranchon and Frostboz are all in the Chaos Galaxy. So yeah. Then got Slobber Flobber. 300 power, 600 block, 3 stars, and all of the water cards on the field get an extra 100 power and block for every water card on the field. Next up, we have another shiny, who's the Phantom Jelly. I think he's a bit better than Frostboz. He's only a 3-star, 7-star, sorry. 1,000 power, 1,000 block, and he gets an extra 1,000 power for every other water creature on the field. Wow, so yeah, he can be pretty beefy. If you've got 2 more, then he's already 3,000, 3,000, which is good. Next up, I'm going to show you the Archetype, and unfortunately I did these on 1 piece of paper and didn't cut them out, so I'll just have to show you them like this. I'll try not to spoil the next ones, but first up we have Bub. This is from the Bubble Archetype, and he's just a 1-star with 400 power and 600 block. The next strongest one, sorry I'm trying to cover him up, is Bubo, and if you have Bub, he gets an extra 1,000 power and block. I'm just guessing that's on your planet. Next up, we've got Bubba Boob. I probably shouldn't have put the word boob in these names. A bubble warrior with bubble cannons on its hands. I think he looks really cool, actually. He's probably one of my favourites from the water element. But yeah, he's a 6-star with 2,300 power and 1,700 block, so he's good. And then the absolute boss is Bub Babu Babubbo Bob, who's got 2,600 power and 3,000 block. He's massive. And it says all Bub cards get an extra 1,000 block. I don't think that was including him. I remember making that ruling because my cousin Elijah used the water cards, and Bubba, well, every time he played this guy, he kind of won, so yeah. Next up, we've got Screenback Serpent, which is Spineback Serpent in Chaos Galaxy. And when you play this card, you have to kill one water card in your deck. Okay, fair enough. 6-star, 2,600 blocks, good. Next up, we have Super, who is just a bowl of soup. A bowl of steaming hot soup that burns anything that's attracted to its delicious aroma. Quite a wide vocabulary when I was 14. But yeah, he's only 2-star with 1,400 power, which is good, and only 100 block. We've then got some special cards for the water element, and it says play all water cards from your deck until your space is full. I'm guessing that means on your field. And then you get 1 point for every Bub card, and you lose 1 point if one dies this turn. That's pretty overpowered. I remember a lot of the special cards were very overpowered, but because everyone had really overpowered special cards, the games were still even, so it's fine. Next up, we've got Drought, which is another special card, and it says put all water cards in the owner's decks, then kill every card on the field, and you get 1 point for each. Yeah, so that does kind of actually sum up what a drought is. All the water goes away, and then everything dies. I was a pretty clever kid looking back at this game. Anyway, that's all the water cards, apart from one, which I haven't shown you, which is the God card. That God card is the Kraken, who's a 10-star. Only God cards were 10 stars, I remember. And it says, to play this card, you must kill one water card. I remember all the God cards had that ability, where to play them you had to kill one card from that planet. So, like, if somehow my cousin with the Sky deck got hold of this, like, Kraken or something, he wouldn't be able to play it unless he got lucky and got a water card in a pack. But to play this card, you must kill a water card. When you play this card, all water cards get an extra 200 power and block. Okay, so his ability is not that good, but I mean 3,200 power and 3,000 health is excellent. So yeah, that's the Water God card. They're all the water cards. Next up, I'm going to show you the rock element cards. So first up, you've already seen Enchanted Obelisk here, who's an ancient statue found in a pyramid, and legend says whoever faces it gets cursed. 1,900 block, he's pretty beefy. Dusty is the next one, previously seen in Elemental Season 1. And at the end of yours and your opponent's turns, you can swap this card's power with its block. Okay, this is actually like the planet Barrow, the ability that has in Chaos Galaxy. So that's pretty cool. I must have done that like subconsciously. Next up we have Groundbreaker, who's Rockabocker in Little Dudes. 2,300 power and 1,700 block. Who then got the first shiny, who is Bomber. He's really cool. Might make him in Chaos Galaxy actually. 7 stars, 2,300 power and 2,300 block. He doesn't have an ability. Next up we've got Blockabok. Oh, I've accidentally coloured him in, but he doesn't have an ability. 1,200 power, 300 block. Next up, here we go, Big Old Rock Warrior. He's a 5-star, and he's also Humongous Ancient Rockman in Chaos Galaxy. It's just a later version of him. And then only once, when this card dies, you can put it back in your hand. So he's quite good. Now this is the archetype for the rock elements. The Boulder Dragon archetype. So the basic one, which is the weakest one, is Boulder Dragon Egg with 1,000 block and 0 power. And you can kill it to play a card with Boulder Dragon in its name from your hand. Okay. Next up we have Baby Boulder Dragon, who's actually really cute, and his ability reads, when he dies you can play a Boulder Dragon from your deck. So he's pretty good. He can bring out regular Boulder Dragon, who's here. 700 power, 1,300 block, and he was originally a fossilised pile of dragon bones, and it magically came to life with rock hard skin and a powerful attack. I don't know how that would have happened, but it did, so you'd better believe it. And the next card is the boss of the Boulder Dragon archetype, and he was one of mine and all my cousins' favourite cards in the entire game. And you can understand why, because he looks pretty freaking awesome, even though I drew him when I was 14. And he is Boulder Dragon Overlord. He's a 9-star with 3,800 power, 2,800 block. And to play him, you must have one or more Boulder Dragon cards in your dead pile or deck. So, as long as you have a Boulder Dragon anywhere, then you can play him. But I remember the cousin of mine who used the rock deck. They lost to my cousin who had the sky deck or something. And as the loss, he'd betted his Boulder Dragon Overlord and lost it. But then because my other cousin who won it didn't read its ability first, he just wanted it because it looked really cool, he couldn't actually play the Boulder Dragon Overlord. So eventually he gave it back to him. So yeah, kind of got mugged off, but just goes to show you, always read the small print. But anyway, he's the absolute monster that is Boulder Dragon Overlord. Next up, we've got Lava Guy Big Hands. And it says, this card is also a fire card. Yeah, there were quite a few cards that were from multiple elements. And all fire cards can attack twice per turn. So I guess I should have shown you him with the fire cards. Sorry, I'm showing you the God card. But yeah, I'll show you the God card now for the rock type. And he is just the planet Earth with 4,000 block and 1,000 power. This was the card with the highest block in the game. But to play him, you must kill one rock card again. So again, that's the criteria for all the God cards. You just kill one creature of that element. And when you play this card, all creatures on both players' fields become rock cards. So, I don't know why that actually helps, but I mean, it must have done in some way. I may have had some kind of special card that could come into play when that happened, but I must have lost it or something. I have lost quite a few of these cards. But yeah, so there are all the rock cards. So that's all I'm going to show you today, guys, otherwise this video will be like 25 minutes long. I was going to show you the Sky deck, but I'll show you that in the next part of this video. Let me know which deck you would have rather had if you were there that Christmas with my cousins. The rock deck or the water deck. Although I do love the water cards, I think I'd have to say the rock deck I would have preferred to use just because the Boulder Dragons are so cool and there are some really good ability cards in there. So yeah, apart from that, got nothing else to say, but please like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. I'm doing really well with Little Dudes Legends, my other TCG at the moment. I've got some stuff from that on Instagram, so if you want to have a look at that, then I'd really appreciate it. So, but apart from that, got nothing else to say, but see you next time. Bye.